Trevor, as you know, this year on the podcast, we are letting each of our guests make the episode their own by, giving them a platform to present whatever they want as long as it is party room related. Now is that time. What do you got for me today?
So let me start with this. We were supposed to film this last week, and I got kind of bogged down with some like work stuff, and I had jury duty and a handful of things. It just took way longer than they were supposed to, so I didn't have time to have a presentation that I really felt good about, and so I wanted to push it back a week because I wanted to make sure that whatever presentation I came out with was absolutely a banger. It had to be a hit. It had to be something that the people were gonna want.
Mhm.
And I finally had my idea this last, I think it was Friday night last week. I was like, that's it. That's what I want to make.
You had your idea after our initial interview date?
That's correct.
Great.
Yeah. Well, my plan was to work on it on Wednesday, but then I was in jury duty like super long. And then like everything, it was one of those days where like everything took like 35 minutes longer than it was supposed to, like the whole day, So I didn't actually have time to like sit down and like figure it out. But alas, I had this idea and I was like, this is perfect. It is simply the best idea. And I called Andrew on Saturday night. I like texted him. I was like, hey, can I call you real quick? And it was like super late. It was like 11. It was after 11 o'clock, I think. He called me and he's like, hey, is everything okay? And I was like, yes, but I have a great idea for my party room presentation. And I told him what it was, and he loved it. He thought it was just the best idea that I could possibly come up with. So let's get into this, okay? This has the Andrew King stamp of approval.
Now that it's been built up this much.
That's right. So let's rewind time to January 3rd, 2025, right? That's when Andrew does his Party Room Film Festival presentation, his PRFFP, his PP, if you will. Can we call these all our individual PPs?
No, stop. No.
Because it's my podcast presentation.
Stop it.
This is Andrew's PP.
Stop it.
So we're
stop it.
On January 3rd, Andrew had his PP.
Stop. And yes, his PP was out on the January 3rd.
Correct. And so after examining Andrew's PP, I decided that I wanted to take his PP and go a step further than that. So he talked about the overall analytics. Now, Andrew made one comment that really stood out above the rest to me, right? So he says he's got his overall top 10, filmmaker top 10, wives top 10, best rated year, fun stats he made up, right? Now he makes this claim, a very bold claim. He says, the wives top 10, not the top 10 wives.
Oh no. He
wanted to make it very clear that we would not be doing that today.
Oh no.
So
Trevor, no.
So I said, well, why not? Why not? Right? We can do that, I think, I have statistically 25% more balls than Andrew does, which is certainly enough to do a top 10 wives presentation.
Oh my God. Oh no.
So, without further ado, let's get into this thing, right?
Don't do it.
Okay. Let me hold on. Let me slow my roll for a second, okay? There is a criteria on how we're ranking these top 10 wives. And so I want everyone to understand what the parameters that I'm ranking the party room wives are.
My heart rate is so high right now. I'm so scared. We can do this.
So you might ask yourself to start with, well, Trevor, how can we do top 10 wives when there's only 9 wives?
Okay.
Right? Like, how is that even possible? And the answer is with creativity. So the next question is probably, well, Trevor, aren't you biased? Wouldn't you just rank your wife in first place? I didn't, so we don't have to worry about that. So then back to the criteria, okay? Now that we've got everything solved, okay? The idea is we are ranking top 10 Party Room Film Festival wife roles, okay?
Oh, thank God.
So
Okay.
we are the only acceptable films or the only acceptable Party Room Film Festival wife roles are roles played by a Party Room Film Festival wife, and that wife must be married in the film.
Okay.
So if the wife is not playing a role that is at least ambiguously a wife, then she does not qualify. So
Okay.
one of the ones that probably most people think of off the rip, right, is End of the Bloodline, right? Now, this does not meet the criteria for a top 10 Party Room Film Festival wife, because in the film, they are not married.
Mm-hmm.
In the film, they had just been engaged. So there's a lot of films where wives are either as a girlfriend or a fiance, or they're
Right.
maybe in the film, but they do not play a wife role in the film.
Right.
And so those roles and wives will be not included.
Okay.
So are you ready for me to begin now?
I guess my like I feel better, but I'm still scared.
So let's start off with some honorable mentions with the top 10 wives of Party Room Film Festival.
Okay.
These are the honorable mentions. Is it doing the thing? Hold on. These are like, I guess maybe this one isn't going to GIF. I don't know if it will. This one is. I don't know.
It's not moving now. It's okay.
So honorable mentions, we have Callie Smith as Clink in Photophobia.
Mhm.
And then Callie Smith, the non-Clink variation from Photophoria. Riley Sigler, the non-Clink variation from Photophoria. Heather Knowles in Procrastination, and Holly Judy in Obligation.
Okay.
So this answers our question earlier. Do we have at least 10 Party Room Film Festival wives? And the answer is yes. We actually had 15 roles that were, and these are not in any particular order. These are just as I was watching through films. Literally, I had to watch through every film to look for wives.
Oh my gosh.
So these are just the other roles that did not make the top 10 list. So let's begin. I don't know if this is in back to front or front to back order. So we're going to find out together. Back to front. Here we go. So number 10 is Riley Sigler in Art is Life.
Okay.
Now, Riley did a great job portraying Riley herself in this role. Now, I don't know if you've spent much time in the Sigler household. The nightly bowl of cereal has been a thing that they've done for quite some time. I myself have partaken in this nightly bowl of cereal. It's a quality experience that we've all come to know and love. I mean, Riley did a great job. She nailed the role of Riley being Riley in Riley's life. So nice. I thought that was worthwhile to make the top 10 list.
Okay.
Next up is Ellen Maddox in Death by Friendship. It's a great job. She did a great job. She died multiple times in this. As we know, dying on screen is not a particularly easy thing to do. She was eaten by a garfish, which I would still argue does not look anything like a garfish. But that's a little bit besides the point. But no, she did a great job. Especially coming out with such the bold statement of I don't like Taylor Swift that much. Especially in today's day and age, that can be a tough thing to say. You don't know what kind of hostility you'll get, and she handled it with grace. So yeah, it was a quality performance by Ellen Maddox. Next up, we have Allison Panel in Multiversus. Now you might ask yourself, was Allison in Multiversus? Yes, kind of. She was.
Okay.
This is the only clip that we have. However, I would say this meets the criteria of ambiguously wife because Landers is playing the role of Landers in his film. And we do see his text messages to Mom and Allison Hart talking about CNN or something along those lines. But we do know that they are married at this point. Later on, there are some pictures of them together. However, those are pictures from when they were in Asbury, so those don't meet the criteria. So this was I thought she did a good job. She's in a group chat with Landers and his mom, so I can't imagine the kind of mental stress that would have to be to be in a group chat with the three of them. So I thought she did a great job. Next up,
Look at that
we
picture
have
of Aaron.
we have Riley Sigler, the Clink variation from Photophobia. It was a quality performance from Riley here. Some real on-the-spot acting when I said clink, and then we all felt the need to have to clink our glasses. But I thought she really nailed that on-the-spot change to being creative, while acting, out a role that some might venture to say is not a particularly prominent role. But I thought she really nailed the Clink Riley variation. Next up is Ellen Maddox in Bargain Batman. I don't think I have to elaborate too much here. Ellen did a very good job playing Ellen in this role. Keeping sure that Sam is in check, making sure he's gotten those boxes moving, and she gives him a little leeway, right? Which you appreciate, from a couple, that she's going to let him do his thing a little bit. But at some point, the hammer's got to come down, and it certainly did. At the end, we see, them putting their boxes together. So that's Ellen Maddox with a very strong performance in Bargain Batman. And then we have Callie Smith in Tick Tick. I thought she did a great job here. It seems a little ambiguous throughout the film. Does she want to kill me? Does she not want to kill me? It seems as though my take is that she probably does want to kill me. But it was a quality PRFF acting role. As we know, right? Acting sometimes without sound is and words is sometimes harder. But I thought she handled the role of wanting to kill me rather well. So
she did great.
We give Callie the 5. And then we have Sarah King in Pegged. So Sarah King was acting as Peg, who was in fact married to Bo before they got split up in the apocalypse. So under the rules, she does meet the criteria. While she's not married to Andrew in this, she is playing a married woman role as a Party Room Film Festival wife. And she does a great job in Pegged. Obviously, she's not married to Zach because that wouldn't be that wouldn't be natural, right? For a violin to marry a human being. That's not really in the realm of things that we accept. But she does do a great job with her voice acting, and really kind of sticking it to Bo and to Zach, and coming around in the end. So that's Sarah King as Pegged. Next, we have Holly Judy in D. Levi Ree. This one really comes down to I don't know. I'm not going to make maybe someone else wants to make this, but like top 10 party room moments, this was a really, really quality, Party Room Film Festival iconic moment. When we see Holly and the line, "I'm the only one my husband sees naked," just absolutely, banger. Right. So big fan of that performance from Holly. And I thought it was some really excellent execution as well. Next up, and actually before I get to the next one, I might ask you, what do you think the next one is?
Man,
there's only 2 left. If you'd done your research for all roles involving a woman that is a Party Room Film Festival wife in a wife role, I don't know if you've done your homework on that.
As I am going through. Dude, well, no.
Sounds like
Why
you
are
don't
you?
have a guess.
Yeah, I don't have a guess.
That's
Of
fine.
course not.
We'll just get straight to it then. It is. Oh, hold on, I clicked off something. Callie Smith in UGG. This is it was I am probably partial. This is one of my favorite films from this last year, and even from Party Room just in general. I thought UGG was very, very good. But she did a great job as a wife that is upset with her husband. I am sure that some of us that are husbands are familiar with that role of wife being upset at husband. And I thought she really nailed the upset wife energy. Yeah. And I got to kiss her in this one, so that one was pretty cool. Now, the number one Party Room Film Festival wife. I think at this point, you've all guessed it at home, right? Everyone knows what it is. You probably know at this point, right?
It's Heather.
It's got to be Heather Nowles in Le Plombier, Rip wife, right? The number one wife is going to be Heather in Le Plombier. I mean, do I even have to elaborate? I don't think I do, but I will. She did an excellent job with this role. She was the wife. She saw Zach. She saw him kill somebody. She was kind of into that kind of thing. They got married. They had a child. That child was small Matt. And then she was killed violently, I think. And so we see here at her funeral, right? It's raining sideways a little bit. And she's laying on a towel with a pillow, and she did a great job. She definitely got soaked by a hose doing this role. But in my mind, this was the number one Party Room Film Festival wife, was the Rip wife from Le Plombier. So, good thing. So that is my presentation here. Now I can get feedback if you'd like. However, I will say before I get any feedback here from Jacob, for any Party Room wives that might be saying, well, that's not fair. I didn't make the top 10 wives list. And I would say that's right. That isn't fair that you didn't make your Party Room Film Festival wife list.
Don't do this.
And the only
Trevor,
person you can take that up with is your own husband, because they didn't cast you as wives in their films. I scoured every single film looking for any opportunity to use any wives. That, as you could see, Allison Panel made the list. So I
hate you for this.
I was trying my hardest. There was one film that I watched. I turned my brightness up to 100. I zoomed in. I said, "Is there a chance that's Maddie in the bed next to Jacob?" And there's just no way of knowing because the blankets are all the way over her.
I hate you so much right now.
I said,
you are not being a homie. You are not being a homie right now. What are you doing?
Well, I said, I bet you that if Maddie's in this film, she'll be in the credits. But you know what? One year, Jacob conveniently decided to say, this is good enough for credits, was the year that he made Rex Moriendum. And so there was no way of knowing if that was Maddie.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much right now. You are causing more damage than you know. I hate you so much right now. Oh, you're a bad person. You're a bad man.
Well, anyways, do you have any questions for me for my presentation?
What about Maddie from Meaningless Fever Dream?
You guys are engaged.
Yeah, but then we go to the future.
The future,
actually no, because I stopped the wedding, so that
correct.
I don't go to. Don't say you're right, like you had that answer already. I gave you that answer just now.
I watched all of these films. I thumbed through every single one looking for any possible role of a wife. And if I missed some, that's fair. Leave them in the comments below. And maybe next time we'll make some amendments to the top 10 list. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any of their roles. And that may be due to my own, incompetence. But if so, I'll own up to that, and we'll edit the next time we do a top 10 party room wives list.
This is not me trying to poke holes. I just really can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
End of the Bloodline 2, No Balls, No Glory.
Yeah.
Is Ellen not a wife in that?
No, she's
Like, does she not get hitched to Dr. Von Stice? I can't remember.
ambiguous that she's like with him, but like when she leaves him, it doesn't seem like they're getting a divorce. It seems like she's just leaving him.
Okay.
So it didn't, in my interpretation, it didn't seem like they had been wed. It seemed like they were simply like together as a couple.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I as I'm looking through this, I can't find any. As I'm like scrolling through. No, wait, no.
What you got?
In Snap 2020, Party Room 1, that's
Mhm.
Josiah's film.
Yeah.
Melissa comes in at the very end and she sets the mousetrap for him.
She said, I don't remember, I suppose. Do we see all of her? Or do we just see her hands?
We see all of her. It's
Okay.
a wide shot of Josiah at the table.
Maybe that one deserved to make the list. I remember going through the credits and not seeing her listed as an actress. So maybe that is an oversight on my end. She probably deserved to make that list.
As I'm looking at the credits here, it does just say that she was the director of photography.
Yeah. And so that was kind of that was my catch-all, because I wasn't going to sit and watch through 64 films. I thumbed through on like 2x speed on like clicking 10 seconds ahead, just to look for any scenes with wives. And then I would double check the credits for any wife roles. Yeah, one of the big ones is Kitty Catterton makes an appearance a lot, but we don't know if Kitty Catterton is with someone, if she's married, if she's celibate. There's no way of knowing.
Celibate.
Yeah. So no
All right.
way.
Well, this was better than I thought it would be. Man, you had me really scared for a little bit. So
Is it better than you thought it would be when you had the idea to make us do these, or better than you thought it would be when I started saying that I was going to rank the wives?
The latter.
Okay, that's fair. Did I meet your goals for what you thought my presentation might be?
I did not have any expectations for yours. I just knew that it would be great.
Okay. Did I meet that expectation?
Absolutely.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
This is amazing. When I had the idea for people to do presentations, I was like, even if like 11 of them are bad, at least Trevor will definitely come through. So,
well, I appreciate the confidence in me. As you probably could guess, I did have a little bit of help from Andrew for creating all the little GIFs of the wives. And putting most of this presentation, most of the the little presentation portion together. So a big thank you to Andrew there. And then I was going to give a follow-up on when I had called Andrew. Sarah, I have like a group text with like Andrew and Sarah and Callie, and Sarah texted the group and she was like, Andrew getting a call from Trevor at 11 o'clock. Something must be wrong. Trevor, I want to rank the wives. It was pretty funny. It was a good time.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You can stop sharing now.
Do I have to?
I guess not.